The first year my husband and I were dating, I asked him what his favorite holiday cookie was because I wanted to make them for him, and he told me it was this Polish cookie his mom had made every year growing up called Kolaczki. And it's not something I had ever heard of or made before, but of course I learned how to make them over the years. They're almost like a little pastry dough that's filled with a sweet filling. You can do a lot of different flavors of fillings. They have since become one of my favorite holiday cookies, so I'm going to show you how to make them. You can find the full recipe by Googling Baker Betty Kolaczki. I'm going to show you how to make them. The dough comes together really fast. There are very few ingredients. We're going to start with 1 package of cream cheese, 225 grams or 8 ounces. Go ahead and put that right in the bowl. This is softened cream cheese. It has been sitting out at room temperature to get really, really nice and soft. You also need 2 sticks or 225 grams of butter, so equal amounts butter and cream cheese. And we're just going to kind of mix this together until it's really kind of like creamed together. The butter is also room temperature. I mix this on like a medium-high speed for about 2 minutes until it's really, really light and fluffy. And now we're going to add maybe like a 1/4 teaspoon of vanilla. I'm just going to do a little splash, measure it with your heart. And then if you used unsalted butter, we're going to add a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. But if you use salted butter, you're just going to leave that out because that is about a 1/2 teaspoon that would be in 2 sticks of butter. I'm going to make sure that is all evenly incorporated before I add my flour. The last ingredient is flour. We need 270 grams or 2 1/4 cup of flour. I'm just going to weigh this on my scale, and that's it. There's actually no sugar in the dough. It's very much like a pastry dough. And then our filling will be very sweet, and we'll also dust some powdered sugar over the top when they're done baking. Start on a low speed so this doesn't fly in my face, and then I will mix that just until everything is absorbed and evenly combined. It will start off looking pretty crumbly, but just keep mixing it. It will come together into a really thick but sticky dough. This is the texture of the dough when it's done. It's like a really thick cookie dough texture, but it is far too sticky for us to roll out at this point, so we are going to chill it. I like to put out a piece of plastic wrap and kind of press it out flat on the plastic wrap because it will chill much quicker if it's in a thin layer. That's another piece of plastic wrap over it, or you could even use parchment paper too. And then I'm just going to kind of press it flat into maybe a 1/2 inch thick so that it will just chill a lot quicker. Just pop this in the refrigerator for like 45 minutes to firm it up, or you could even put it in the freezer for like 15 minutes to firm it up, and then we will roll it out and fill it. Chilling. While the dough is chilling, let's talk fillings. There are a lot of filling options. I find that these Solo brand fillings are kind of the perfect consistency. They're really, really thick, which helps them just kind of stay inside the pastry instead of kind of like oozing out while they're baking. There are a lot of options of flavors. You could do, I like the cherry and the almond flavors. You could do raspberry, there's poppy seed is common, prune, apricot. There are a lot of different options. You could even make like a thick cream cheese filling that's sweetened, like similar to a cream cheese Danish filling. The options are endless. Start rolling this out. You want the dough to be firm but have a little bit of give and bend to it. And I like to use powdered sugar to roll mine out. I dust that on the counter pretty liberally, and then I will dust it over the top. I'll roll this out into about a 1/4 inch thick, and I have no idea where my rolling pin went. I cannot find it, so I'm using a rum bottle to roll mine out. Left it in the fridge or freezer too long, just give it a minute or two out at room temperature and it will soften pretty quickly. And you do actually want to work pretty quickly with this because it does get soft really fast. Off all 1/4 inch thick. I meant an 1/8 of an inch thick. So after you have this rolled out, I like to come in with a bench knife and kind of just clean up my edges and kind of square everything off. I'll save these scraps aside in the refrigerator. I can re-roll them out after I do my first shaping of all of the dough. If your dough cracks as you're rolling it out, just use the warmth of your hand to kind of press it back together. A ruler is one of the very rare things that I do use a ruler for. I come in and just kind of mark off my 2-inch sections, and then I'll do it the opposite direction as well so that I get pretty even 2-inch squares. Doesn't have to be perfect, but you're gonna cut out your grid. To fill them, you're gonna put just like a little line of whatever filling you're using down like corner to corner on your little square. And then I like to have a little egg wash beside me, which is just egg whisked with a little bit of water. You're gonna bring one corner over the top and then just give a little bit of egg wash on that corner. And then you're gonna bring, I like to do it on this corner too, and then bring that over like that. And then really pinch these two together so that it stays closed, because it will really want to pop up open in the oven, and it might still pop open in the oven even if you do that. On a baking sheet, these will not spread, so you can put them pretty close together. Get all the fillings spread on the pieces first, and then come back and start closing them all up. My baking, have them all wrapped up and on my baking sheet now, and I'm going to put these in the oven at 350 degrees Fahrenheit or 170 degrees Celsius for about 12 to 14 minutes until they're just very lightly browned. Sheet are out of the oven. I just let them cool right on the baking sheet, and they're just these little adorable little pastries that are filled. They'll only really get lightly brown on the bottom. The top stays pretty pale. And then as an optional step, I come in with some powdered sugar once they've cooled, just to give them a little sweetness, because remember, the dough doesn't have sugar in them. I like to use these little tea strainers as our tea infusers as my powdered sugar duster. They're so good. Just like a little tiny pastry. Yum. Bye.